In this video, we're going to look at the truth behind AEW failing with Britt Baker and continuously misusing one of their top stars. It's baffling. Look, Britt Baker, she has not been seen on AEW television as recording of this video since losing to TBS champion Mercedes Moné at the All In pay-per-view event. Now, this was after she had returned from a long hiatus at Forbidden Door. And even if she is booked on a future episode of Collision or Rampage, we need this woman back on Dynamite. Now, going back in January, Britt Baker, she stated that she felt like she needed to take a step back to let the spotlight shine on other members of the women's division. Meanwhile, there were reports that she was dealing with some type of back injury, something the woman herself has previously discussed, although she said that there were issues that were manageable. Now look, she had actually a very serious health scare, which we will touch on in a minute. But this star, she has been a regular presence on AEW television since the company launched in 2019 and a key part of the women's division. Thus, her absence was quickly spotted by fans. However, details have been few and far between. Something in which we're going to get into right now. This back injury that she told with Renee Paquette was so bad that she had to get injections in her back because she was getting to the point where she couldn't walk. It was everything at once, she said. I had a torn hip labrum, which again was for my herniated disc in my back, my neck, my wrist, was just kind of all crumbling together. It was just time for everything to heal and just mentally and emotionally get in tune with myself again, because you do all these kind of things to lose yourself at some point, and I felt like I was stale. I was stagnant with who I was as a performer. I needed time away to kind of reinvigorate again and to find myself again. That absence spent 9 months before returning at Forbidden Door, confronting Mercedes Moné. And that ultimately led into All In. Now, at All Out, Mercedes Moné was on television. She was building up her match up to All Out, taking on Hikaru Shida, defending and retaining said TBS championship against Shida. However, Britt Baker, she wasn't on television after All In. She wasn't on television after All Out. Where is this woman? Well, speaking at the All Out media scrum, Tony Khan addressed Baker's status, noting, "It was great to see Dr. Britt Baker back at AEW All In, Wembley Stadium. It was a great show. She's a big part of the AEW roster. She was a big part of All In." Obviously, All Out, we saw a lot of intense matches, intense rivalries, and as we approach in the coming weeks, it's exciting times. The events are coming fast and furious, and it's time of going from All In to All Out, now heading into Grand Slam in New York and Wrestle Dream. Absolutely. Dr. Britt Baker's an important part of the roster, and it's something to keep an eye on when we see Britt Baker, when we hear from her, and we'll see what next. It boggles my mind that this woman is back on the sidelines, okay? And I'm not talking about Rampage if they book her there. I'm not talking about Collision. Who cares? Who cares? Dynamite is your main show with your main talent. I want you to think about this. This proves a few different reasons how AEW has a Britt Baker problem. One, she's very rarely used. Even before her long hiatus, she was barely used on television. Everyone remembers Britt Baker as this big dominant star. She's a big star, she's not dominant, and it's a lack of creative. Whenever she is booked, it's poorly, and I have the numbers to back it up. In 2021, her breakout year when she was a long women's champion, she went 22-8, okay? Phenomenal. It was a breakout year. Since then, oh buddy, in 2022, think about this. She worked 28 matches going 17-11, okay? In 2023, she worked 22 matches. She went 12-10. They are literally booking her as a weak star. It boggles my mind. I cannot understand this. Now, I don't know how much longer Britt Baker has on her AEW deal, but if I'm a good friend of hers, I'm getting in her ear and I'm going, hey, you could be a major star in this business, but this booking, this is BS. You may want to go to WWE. You would certainly think that they would have interest in her. She's no longer with Adam Cole, right? There's really no reason why she would stay in AEW. Is it because they gave you your good break, your big break? Yeah, I guess, but how far does loyalty lie? And oh, by the way, and people forget about this all the time, loyalty goes both ways. You have to give loyalty and you have to receive loyalty. It's not a one-way street. At that point, you're just sitting there, right? You're not doing anything. You're just sitting there, right? You're hoping for scraps. You got to go out and take the freaking course. And that's what Britt Baker needs to do right now. You cannot be booked like this. This is ridiculous. Now, so far in 2024, she's worked 3 matches. She's 2-1. Great. Good job. Good job. Now, let's see how the rest of the year goes. Because I highly doubt Britt Baker is going to have that 2021 record. I highly doubt she's going to have above a 60% win percentage. She hasn't in years. Why would things change? There's new talent here, right? You got Jamie Hayter. She's back. You have Monet. She's running things. You have Camille in the wings. You have Toni Storm. You have Mariah May. You have all of these talent. Willow Nightingale, Chris Statlander. You have all these talents that she can go out there, she can work with, she can have phenomenal feuds with, and memorable promos with, and memorable matches with. Yet AEW, they can't seem to get out of their own freaking way when it comes to Britt Baker, and it blows my mind. What is the issue? Does she have heat with Tony Khan? I know she had the incident with MJF, but like, is that it? Because it doesn't make a lot of sense if that's it. This just happened a few months ago with MJF. That didn't affect her 2023 booking. That didn't affect her 2022 booking. What is it? She can cut promos. She can work. She's a great character. She can do it all. She's right in the media. She looks great. She acts the part. She comes across as a big star. Like, you start going through the checklist, and it's like, I don't get it. I don't get it. Is it because she has personality issues behind the scenes? Right? Like, we've heard some stories throughout the years, but in terms of like an on-screen product, here's my thing, right? You're Tony Khan. You are either, reportedly, it's a done deal with Warner Bros. Discovery, and or you are closing in on a deal with Fox. You are a promotion in which has cooled off dramatically. Your attendance has plummeted. Your ratings have taken a hit. General buzz in AEW is down, and this is someone who is a content creator who wants AEW to thrive because I make more money when they thrive. It's just a fact of life. Why would you not want to see this woman on television? If you're Tony Khan, on what planet would you go, oh yeah, we have this big star over here and she has a lot of popularity and she fits the part, she'll do anything we ask her and she delivers every single time, but we're not going to use her. It's like, what? Why? It boggles my mind, y'all. It just boggles my mind.